Hey, it's Allie with Seattle Coffee Gear, and today we are talking about the Eureka Notte. This is a new grinder for us at Seattle Coffee Gear, and it's actually an exclusive, so you won't see it anywhere else. Pretty much it falls in line with the Mignon line, so you may have seen some of their other models. All aluminum casing. It's got a pretty small build altogether. The hopper holds, I think, just under a pound. A portafilter fork, but this one is made of plastic and just a classic on-off button. This is going to not have any time dosing. It's actually going to be all manual from the switch on the front. So this would be best fit as an entry-level espresso grinder. It does have flat steel burrs. So still infinite adjustment. You're going to get infinite amount of settings. So to make those very precise changes. And I've actually pre-ground some of the range of this grinder here for you. Now the design for this is meant to be for espresso, some finer drip type of coffee, so maybe some pour over if you wanted to go in that route. But I've kind of taken it from the coarser side, like some of the most coarse. I didn't do the absolute most coarse because that's kind of a setting I wouldn't recommend for anyone to use. But when you go maybe like a turn down from the absolute coarsest, you get some little flakes. This is like pretty good French press grind, I would say. A little bit of fines in there. And then you kind of get towards more of your pour over grind, maybe your AeroPress grind, depending on how you brew. And then you get over here into the finer options. So I have, this one was like more of like a coarse espresso grind, and this one was a really fine espresso grind. So very velvety, very fluffy. You can see it gets a lot more consistent in the finer range. Definitely not nearly as much. Yeah, it's really impressive, honestly. There is just a touch of clumping when you get to the absolute most fine of this grinder. You don't want the burrs to get too close together. That's not the way they're intended to use. So espresso is really the finest you'd want to go. If you get too fine, you'll start to get a lot of clumping, just showing you that all of that's getting caught up in there. So don't go too fine, but it does have a really nice range for espresso. So you won't be limited to the options that you can do. This grinder comes in at a really good value as well. Definitely some of the nicer options you will get for the price. I wanted to show you one of the big things about this one is the noise level. So it does have this portafilter fork, so I can still be hands-free if I wanted to, but to engage it, you actually need to hold it together. So it is a little bit louder than some of the other line. The Silenzio, for example, if you put this side by side, this doesn't have any sound deadening in it where that grinder does. So definitely gonna have a little bit more noise. I'll grind it for you again. Almost said play it for you again. So let's go. I forget that this one, so you do have to hold it in place. It's not a time dose. I'm so used to that time dose, but it's gonna be just a manual. So this is actually a nice option if you don't really need the timed, if it just makes more sense for you to be grinding by the dose. If you single dose or anything like that, that would make sense. So just keep that in mind when you are purchasing. Yeah. So there you have it, the Mignon Notte grinder. Some notes on the Notte. Basically, the biggest thing about this grinder is going to be the sound deadening. I still think it comes in at a really great value and will be a great match for any entry-level espresso machine. But yeah, if you have any questions, just reach out, let us know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below, and we'll see you next time.